everyone, and welcome to this week's DevRel Deep Dive. I'm Lottie from the DevRel team at Umbraco HQ, and I'm joined by my colleague Alan. Hello, Alan.
Hey!
And we're both in purple t-shirts today. We didn't plan it, but what a glorious collaboration, accidental collaboration. Coordination, that's the word, accidental coordination. So, Alan, what are we going to deep dive into today?
Well, we have got some fun stuff. So, as many folks know, it's Umbraco's had we'll say, new back office for a while now, and it can be intimidating to learn some of this new tech because it's based on TypeScript and Vite and Lit, and it's a lot of stuff happening that kind of has to work together. So, there are some examples that are hidden in the repository itself that you can reference, and not everybody has known about these, and we have a new page in our docs that shows how to use these examples. And so we're going to kind of tinker around with these a little bit today and show you how to access them and how to run them on your local machine.
Cool. Yes, I think hidden until a page on the documentation site appeared to unhide previously accidentally hidden examples, and playground, which I see has been used, which is a lovely term because people love being able to just play. They love being able to just touch the code, see the code working, change the code, press F5, prove that things are changing when they change them. So shall we look at that docs page, Alan, if you're ready to share your screen?
Absolutely.
As I have nominated Alan the driver for this deep dive.
Let's see here. Let me make sure I can do this right. So I share my screen, and I am going to go over to this window. And
I think the sort of understanding that this was hidden was one of the things that came out of the MVP summit that we had before Code Garden, when we had Umbraco MVPs from the community and we had product and engineering folks from Umbraco HQ spending the day together, and it was like, oh, quite a few people didn't know these existed. And so after Code Garden, here's this wonderful new docs page, examples and playground for customizing the back office.
That's right. And there's pretty straightforward instructions here in terms of how to run the examples, how to get started with things. What is really neat about the way that this is set up, I think, is that you're running these in the repository itself. So you make your fork and then you clone that down. And as we'll see in a few minutes, you can actually add your own examples, which is kind of cool. But I like that workflow. I think that's neat. Kind of encourages people to share what they've learned.
Yeah. So to see these examples, you're going to clone the source code directly. You could clone it directly from the CMS URL, or you could fork it, which puts a copy of it in your own GitHub organization, and then clone it. It's up to you. If you're thinking of contributing back, I'd recommend you start with a fork. But if you just want to have a play, then cloning directly from the Umbraco URL is fine. I think you've probably already done that, haven't you, Alan?
I have. I've gone ahead and cloned it down, and I did do what you said. I just did a plain clone. I didn't fork it over to my account or anything like that. So since we're just tinkering, we just cloned it down today. Cool.
And I assume you have NPM installed?
I do. So let me go over to our... I think I have to share a different window now because I have to.
I think maybe you do. I think is this when I learn what your UI, your user interface of choice is for working on websites.
Yeah.
Rider? Is it going to be Visual Studio? Is it going to be
VS
Code?
I've got VS Code. Let me see if I can reshare here. Well, I'll get VS Code open, but you probably won't be able to see that because I think I'm just sharing Firefox. Let me switch to VS Code here. All right. Yes. So I'm here in VS Code. And let me open my... Do I have the... No, it's not open anymore. All right. So...
Now we know you're on a Mac, but we forgive you, Alex.
So I've got my repository that I've cloned down here today. And so we've got all of these. Oh, and you can see we've already browsed over to it here, which is fine. I'm going to see if I can make my text in my window just a little
That's
bit
helpful.
bigger.
Thank you. Yeah.
There we go. So just to kind of help people with some wayfinding from the root of the repository, you go into the source folder, and then the examples are under the umbraco.web.ui.client folder, which is where all of the TypeScripty type things are for the back office here. And the examples are in this folder here called examples. But from our terminal window, which I'll open right now. All right. Ooh, some weird stuff with my... There we go. From our terminal window, we can just navigate to the web.ui.client folder. Web.ui.client. And if we follow the instructions here, I just want to make sure I'm doing this right, because I'll always foul something up here.
I assume there's an npm install command that needs to be done at this point.
I believe you are right. So we navigate to that folder, and then we run npm install.
Yeah, and we can always edit the video if it takes too long.
And we may see a slightly different message in my output here, because I think I've already installed the dependencies when I was playing around with this. So my output might be different from what folks see on their screens.
A few seconds later.
Thanks to the magic of television.
Yeah.
So we
nice.
see our dependencies have been installed here. We are good here. And so now with everything installed, you can actually run the examples. And there is a script that's in this repository called examples. And so if you just type npm run example, it'll run that script. And you can see it's really neat. It populates this text menu where you can pick from all the different examples that are in that folder.
Cool.
And
what do you want to show us first?
Oh, what did we want to do first? We were talking about doing a custom modal, is that right?
Yeah, well, I think I know what a modal is, so that's a nice, straightforward one, I hope.
Yeah.
Just to prove something's working, right?
That's right. So we will follow the instructions here. We're going to enter a 3 for the custom modal example, and I'll press return. And what it's going to do now is it's going to build the assets for that custom modal, and it's going to launch a local web server here that's going to look a lot like Umbraco running, but I think this is just the back office assets that are running. So there's not really an Umbraco CMS behind all of this. It's just the UI itself, I think. And it takes
if it hasn't asked you to do sort of any installation or login, then it does indeed sound like it is a standalone back office application.
Yep.
We have a button. Press the button.
Ooh, okay, here we go. So we open the modal. Yeah. So this is quite different from what we normally see in the back office. This one, my understanding is that the regular modals come over and we have sort of the infinite scrolling on those. Mm-hmm. And then this takes up the entire screen, kind of takes over everything. If we want to submit, it works kind of the same way, and I think this should take the modal away. Yeah.
Okay, so that just was that overlaid in front of the entire space, or?
It looks, yeah, it was. It even covered up the section.
Yeah, and I guess that's probably something that's configurable. I actually don't know.
Oh, that's very cool. And
so
that,
if we wanted to see how that actually worked, all of that's going to be in that folder, custom modal folder, right?
That's right. So if we go in here, we can see everything that is going on behind the scenes. So we've got our index file. We have our manifest in there as well, I think. This one doesn't have its own manifest file. This is, I think the manifests are in the index. But we can see where it pulls these elements from.
Yeah, I think the idea is the index.ts has the array of manifests that you're adding for this example.
Yep. So we have all of the output in here. You can see the CSS rules are in there as well. It's very cool to see all of this here and then see it running in the other window. I think that's a helpful learning tool for me personally.
Yeah. Who wants to read documentation? You just want to play. That's
Right.
why they've called it a playground, right?
Yeah. Yep. And it's really neat with stuff like this too, because so much of it is already built out. If you want to just tweak, right? You can see, oh, well, what does this do if I change this? Kind of neat. Should we look at another one?
Yeah. How do we leave?
I tried this yesterday. So if we press H plus Enter here, according to our instructions. Oops, sorry, I'm in the wrong window there. No, what's going on? There we go. Okay. So there are a few shortcuts you can use when you're running this kind of temporary server here. I ran into a little bit of trouble with this yesterday, but we'll see if it'll work today. So I'm going to try Q plus Enter to quit. And that did not seem to work, so I'm going to do the trusty Control C, and that always works, right?
Okay.
And I'm not sure if that's just on a Mac or if that would work on Windows as well, the Control C to break the sequence. And so I can just restart that server now. So if I do npm run example again, that pulls up our menu again. What is another one?
What about number 4, the custom validation workspace context?
Oh, this one is really cool. So we'll do number 4.
They're all cool, just some are really cool, right?
Yeah, they're all very cool. Yep. Okay, so we built the assets for this one. We got the server running again. Let's open it up. Actually, is my window still open? Can I use the same window? Port 5173. Let's try that again. Will this work? Ooh.
Your URL might be wrong because that might have got changed. I can't actually see it. Can you zoom in on your browser a bit? Do you think?
Oh yeah, let me do that.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good there. So for this one, the custom validation context or workspace context, is that what this one is called? I cannot remember.
Yeah, the custom validation workspace context.
Custom validation workspace context. This one, if I recall correctly, is one that allows you to apply a custom validation to different types of property editors. And if we go to this one that has all the rich text editors on it, we'll see that we have a validation error because the one that's being applied is one where it says that the post has words in it that are too long. And so that's definitely not just a default validation there. And I wonder if that means that the words are too long or if the post itself is too long.
Excellent question. I'm going to guess that it's the number of words is over a certain. Maybe could you delete most of the content?
Yes.
And see if that validation message disappears. Each of the examples does have its own README Markdown file in the folder. So, for example, this one, there is a Markdown README that says to see this having an effect on all RTE pages where too long words are invalid. But yes, slightly ambiguous what that actually means.
Let's see.
But anyway, the custom validation is working, whether it's saying that you have words that are too long or whether you have too many words.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So hopefully if you had any custom validation requirements, this would give you a very good starting point to see how to implement them.
That's right. And let's see here. We're going to try Q plus enter again.
There wasn't an option to just show the menu again, was there? I don't know about this NPM tool. I mean, it's cool that there is a little menu that pops up. It's the joy of an NPM tool versus .NET templates that you get. It can ask questions of the user while it's running.
Yeah. I did not see.
Or you can just break it entirely and have to Control-C.
Yeah. Which, hey, I'm great at that. I'm great at breaking things entirely here.
Yeah. There's some old joke about like not being able to exit Vim, but Vim is before my time or not something I've ever used. Some text editor or command prompts. Do you know what Vim is, Alan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I always picked up on that Vim is, once you've started Vim, it's very hard to leave it, because that's something that people always joke about. So it feels a bit Vimish, just to make up a word entirely.
No, I think Vimish is that's a good word.
It's a new word. Let's see if it sticks.
Cool. Let's see here. Should we do one more? How are we doing on time?
Yeah, let's do one more, I think.
Let's take a look at, I'm going to run my script again. So npm run example. And I want to look at the icons. That one, I was fascinated with that one. I haven't tried it out yet, but you can create custom icons, and your elements, I think, can just export the SVG, which is kind of cool. Let's try this out. See what kind of custom icons we have. And my assumption here is that these are going to show up in an icon picker and not just... Oh, there they are. This is great.
Oh, it's a little heart and a...
It's like a magic wand, I think. That's cool. Well, that's great.
So the README for this example says that they have to be made as JavaScript files. Can we have a look at this in VS Code, Alan?
Oh, this is fascinating. All right, so if we go in here, we've got our index file. Let me bring this down a little bit. And then the files themselves are in here. So let's look at the heart.
Okay, so that's SVG, that makes sense, the source of an SVG file. And then if we look at icons dashboard or icons dictionary, what are these?
So I bet the dashboard is that the dashboard that shows up in the example, and then it probably has those elements.
Oh yes, line 13 and 14, UUI-icon. The UI icon tag, and we're saying my icon wand and my icon heart, and then I wonder what's in icons dictionary.
Let's see here.
Okay, so that then associates the alias for your icon with the JS file that is going to be, of course, created when you run the when you build your TypeScript files. They'll spit out JS files. Okay, cool.
That's cool. This is like this example seems kind of simple and straightforward, I feel like, because you can see where things get imported and pulled to, and there's not a ton of like extra functionality. So if you're looking to learn the new kind of back office stack, this might be a good starting point. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't call it new anymore, Alan, but yes.
Yes, the new to you back office stack.
And I think you can tell that neither Alan nor I have spent a huge amount of time in the back office, the post-Angular JS back office. Sorry, Alan, to speak on your behalf, but this is where I feel like I would want to just start noodling around in and thinking, oh, well, what I want to do is like this, but a bit different. And so actually you can just update this to make it work as to how you need it to work, and then you can just copy this into your own application or package. And so I think it's an excellent thing to make sure people know that it exists, because a lot of people are saying we need examples. We also would like to point out that if there are some examples that are missing, if we could switch back to the documentation page, Alan, there is a comment in there about if you create something that you think would be useful to the community, then please contribute it as a pull request. I would suggest, as always, raising an issue first and saying, I've been playing with this, would you like it? Is it worth me raising a pull request? It depends whether you have a lot of work to do in order to make it good enough for a pull request. If it's a lot of work, please don't do it until someone at the CMS has said, this sounds like a great thing to contribute. But also, if the instructions, the readmes in all the examples folders, because I say each example folder does have its own readme file, if those could be improved, those would be great pull requests as well. Perhaps you could work out how the validation one works and slightly improve the English there to make it less ambiguous as to quite how the custom validation. There's a pull request that maybe someone would like to do. And just as a little reminder, if it's been a long time since you forked your Umbraco CMS repository, the contrib branch no longer exists. We're now on main. The easy way is, of course, to delete your fork and refork, or you need to pull the upstream main and switch your default branch over. But contrib is a thing of the past. We're all just making pull requests that target main these days. Thank you, Alan. I think I look forward to hearing that more people know about this and give it a go, and perhaps we'll see some more examples being added as well. That would be a good thing. Any parting comments before we finish?
Let me think. Just like I hope people try this out, because this simplifies. I know we shouldn't say simple, we shouldn't say easy, but this takes care of so many of those initial steps of how do I set this thing up. Yeah. So that people can just dive right in and start playing. So I would just say try it out. This is fun stuff.
Definitely. And if we just show the if you switch to the tab on the right, is that showing the list of the examples? Because there is a nice long list of examples already, isn't there? Yeah. There's a decent number there. So it will also help people understand the terminology perhaps that is around, because some terminology has changed from AngularJS back-office days to web component back-office days. Let's hope that this helps. If Alan and I got anything wrong, let us know. We can put an apology in the show notes. But let us know. And if you do end up contributing anything back, let's make some noise about that. So let us shout about it on Discord, discord.umbraco.com. That's where you could shout about it. Excellent. Thank you very much, Alan.
Thank you.
And good luck, people, and enjoy the playground. See you next time.
See ya.